Girls, my name is Captain Kangaroo, and Captain Kangaroo had a Mexican brother. So here it goes. And this is...
I'm Piggy.
Hi, Piggy.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing just fine.
Well, Mr. Green James, what'd you do to my mustache? Okay, here it goes. Well, today is story time.
Excuse me, but you're weird.
Oh, well, Mr. Piggy, today we're going to talk about the little squirrel that didn't want to share his nuts with the birds. So what happened was one day there was a little squirrel, and he was jumping around the woods and gathering up nuts for the winter time. And he had this big giant tree and a little hole so he could store all the nuts. And one day he picked up a bunch of nuts and he was gathering them all up around the forest, and there was a little bird really hungry. And so the little bird said, "Hey, little squirrel, could I have some of your nuts because I'm real hungry?" And the little squirrel said, "No, gather your own nuts." And the little bird said, "But the nuts, I want to eat them, but they're too hard to open." So the little squirrel said, "No, go get your own nuts." So the little bird said, "Well, if you don't share your nuts, I'm going to call my big brother bird, and he's going to take you far away." So the little squirrel says, "No, go get your own nuts." So the big bird came, picked up the little squirrel, and took him far away on top of a big tree. And so the little bird, "Hey, Mr. Green James, squirrel with my mustache." So, okay. Anyway,
You're funny.
The little squirrel was crying and whining and was getting hungry. And he screamed out, okay, I will share my nuts with the birds." And so...
Well, that was nice of him.
So the little bird called his big brother bird, and he picked up the squirrel and flew him back home. And the little squirrel went into his house and he opened up his door, and all the nuts came flying out. And the little bird said, "But the nut's too hard to open." And big brother bird came along and he grabbed the nuts and he took them high in the sky and he dropped them, and they hit the rocks and they opened up, and the little squirrel and the little bird ate together and they became friends. And they walked down to the river and they drank some water and said, "Glad I shared those nuts with you," said the squirrel. And the little bird says, "I really thank you because those nuts filled me up." And they walked, and the little bird flied around the squirrel, and they lived happily ever after. And there goes my mustache again. Hey, Mr. Green James, we're going to need to get some good glue for this mustache. And this is Little Piggy.
Hi. I liked your story, Captain Kangaroo.
How would you like to have some mustache to eat, Little Piggy?
Yuck! Yuck! Get that away from me!